Well, it's now October 10th, 2025, and we're just about done restoring our old house in Maine. There's the garage, there's the house with its red barn, and we look down over the yard at the Dyer River. We turn around, we see our neighbors. They have a nice house from 1803. Let's go take a look and see what's happened. As you may remember, the house was white before. It had two little chimneys for stoves instead of a center chimney. It had a giant row of cypresses or some such to the left of it, blocking the view of the river. The garage was a white vinyl-sided monstrosity. Now it's much nicer. It has shingles on the side, it has solar panels, and it has Wilbur the drunken whale trying to indicate the direction of the wind. He's not very good at it. Back there is the lawn I get to mow. It's about a 3.5 to 4 hour job. Didn't really work out as a flowering meadow, unfortunately. Let's go in the side entrance. Here we go. Now you'll remember in the old video, this was the horrid kitchen. It had no countertops, counter space. It had a tilted floor with asbestos tile on it. And there was a wall behind the island here with a stairway down to the basement. But all that's changed now into a reasonably decent kitchen. We've got granite looking soapstone looking granite for the countertops. It all took a while, but there we are. We did it. Now, let's go through here. This was a white room where a stove had been, and we had a air mattress and little field chairs set up. Now it's the dining room, and thanks to our neighbor Jim Haidu, who has done all this woodwork, it looks really good. Here's one of my broken porcelains from East Java. You can see we have some Chinese paintings, Japanese paintings, a brass chandelier, and a carpet from our old house in Sherburne, and that big painting in the back that just fit, which is really good. Now, Jim did all the woodwork in here, but none of the floors or ceilings are level, so getting it all to look good was quite a trick. But he was good, and he did it. So now, let's go in. Oh, and we've got these doors here. And those are grain painted by our friend Steve Blossom from Boston, who does this for people on Beacon Hill. They're just new pine doors, but he painted them to look like mahogany. Now here's the front entranceway. And you'll remember that before, right where this door was, there was a giant Victorian stairway heading to the back of the house, and then a hallway here. But since we rebuilt the center chimney, you can't go that way anymore. So Jim Haidu built this stairway here with nice little detailing. And I did the tinting of the railings and the stairs and the painting, which took about a month. It has over 1 billion edges. I counted them. And I painted all these little edges with my little model airplane paintbrush. Whew, that took a while. Here's a brass lockbox that we got. It's reconditioned 18th century. And unlike the one in the Nathaniel Russell house, which has a hideous Phillips head screw right there, this one looks pretty good. Now here's the parlor. You'll remember it had no woodwork, no fireplace, and it had bright yellow 70s wallpaper in it. But we got Darren Peterson of Nobleboro to work on the parlor, and he put in this mantelpiece, which is in the style of Samuel McIntyre. You can see over here, it's on the cover of this book, see? And we painted the floors green. We did the color of the walls based on the parlor in the Nathaniel Russell house in Charleston. It's called drawing room wallpaper, oddly enough, since it's not wallpaper. Got some Chinese scholars rocks. We've got some Celadon dishes from the late Yuan, early Ming dynasty. And we have this tall clock from about 1795 by a student of Simon Willard. And we had a clock in Newburyport, but it wouldn't fit here. It was 3 inches too tall. So we got this one. It tells the phase of the moon and things like that. It's really nice. In this slant lid desk, we have some shards of blue and white porcelain, both on display and in the drawers. And those will hopefully be going to the Palace Museum in Beijing or Jingdezhen, somewhere in China. And we have a rug on the floor. I think it looks better than it used to. Now over here, circling back, this is the keeping room. And it has this giant fireplace here. Again, there was no fireplace. There was no chimney when we got here. So this was all built. And it's made to look old by carefully selecting the black bricks to put in the corners and things like that. A guy named Richard Irons, who's really good at it, did this. But it's a nice fireplace. It has this bread oven in back, a little dome in it. And you can cook pizza there or bread. Not that we're particularly good at it, but we can do it. And it has very nice fires. If we wander through here, this was a bedroom. And this is a study. At last we have a place for books, which is good. Here's the door to the basement. It's very exciting down there. What you can see, just for a quick look, is that underneath here, behind all this ductwork, is the giant 10 by 12 foot arches that hold up the chimney. It's a very big chimney foundation. There's 2 arches on this side, 2 arches on the other side. Here's our propane boiler, which we have, and a heat pump too, and the heat exchanger is right there. This is where the stair originally was, so we moved it back. Let's carefully wipe our feet. And let's go upstairs. Well, let's take the back stairs. What do you say? This is where these back stairs originally were. And we moved this railing, which was at the top of the back stairs, over that way when we moved in, and put them here. They're actually bits and pieces of the original front stairway. Sorry for that dining room cloth there. Let's go into the guest bedroom. Wait, first we have some office articles, a few more books. Barbara's great picture of Venice. And then this is a guest bedroom. One of our friends from the Asian Art Society was kind enough to give us these Revolutionary War prints. Here's the master bathroom. Again, sorry for the tablecloth. I should have taken that down, I guess, but we can't stop filming. Here's the main guest bedroom. There's a little camel and riders from India that my client there said I paid exorbitantly too much because I paid $15. And there's a Currier and Ives print. Here we have the Black Lemon from Sherborne. Used to be in the hall there. Some Chinese paintings from the 19th century and a 20th century one. And then circling around, here's the master bedroom. Now this had, it had horrid wallpaper too, but of course we took it down. This was the closet, the paneling in the closet that had a cornice molding. So we exposed that and we added this part of it for the fireplace. So now, oh, and you'll recall in the old video we saw this thing. It's the painting in back of some old shelves. We left that exposed. Now, some people said we should have the master bathroom elsewhere, but we wanted to have it here, even though it's a tight fit, because you get a view of the river, which is very nice from here. Here's the stairs to the attic. The attic is pretty much unchanged since last time, so I won't show you that. But let's go down, back down these stairs. Oh, and that's some wallpaper we exposed after removing some wallboard. Let's go to the most expensive room in the house. On the way, we'll stop in our mini L. This is a hallway we expanded outward to have sort of a breakfast room. And it has a view of the river, as you can see, which is pleasant. And in here, we have a washer dryer and a little bathroom. Scraped and tinted these doors, which nearly killed me. Okay, the most expensive room in the house. Sorry, we have remnants from a party. This is the Maine L. And the trick is we spent a lot of money on it, and it looks virtually the same as it did when we bought it, because basically we spent all the money stabilizing it and getting rid of the squirrel damage and stuff. Now, if we look outside for a moment, we see our patio, which Jim Hydu made. Our little scenery of the river, very pleasant. And looking up the yard, a lot of mowing to be done, and there's the barn. We're almost done. You may be glad to know. We'll shut these turnbuckles. Here's where people can hang out. Here's our map of the local coastline. We are right up here. That makes us oceanfront, in my view. And then we finish up with the barn, with its curved stairway. And this is where the latrine was, over in the back corner there, because we didn't have power, electrical power, water, or toilets until 1960 in this house. And there's my son Evan's snowmobile, the zero-turn mower. And returning to the L, I think that's about our tour. Thank you for watching.